The next inductee, or Purdue, or IU, okay? I'll be fair about that. The next inductee is a man that has left truly an amazing legacy in our community, and that is Bill William Goodwin. Bill William Goodwin was in the alumni class of 1922. He graduated from the University of Illinois, so he was a Fighting Illini in 1926. He became a well-known businessman working with his father at the Goodwin Funeral Home. He was active in many service organizations and a philanthropist to all in Clinton County. As an avid tennis player, he actively supported, right here, our high school team, the city tennis tournament and the summer tennis tournament. The Goodwin Tennis Picnic was an annual event that was great, and it hosted more than 100 tennis players per year for over 40 years. This is a family with a legacy second to none in our community, so I'd like to welcome to the stage to represent our next inductee, the grandson of Bill William Goodwin, Mr. Bill Miller. Let's give him a round of applause.
Thanks, Mayor. You know, if my grandfather was here, the first thing he would say is, "Why didn't you wear a tie?" I don't know. But this is my sister Grace, and we're honored to be here to represent our family and our grandfather. Our mother is here, Grace, and her sister Catherine still lives in St. Louis, and they are honored for this award for their father. It's a special day for all the honorees, and you know, it would not have been possible without Allie Mullen at the foundation, with the Joel McKinney and Don DeWeese at the superintendent's office, and Don Stock and Don Rusk on the committee. So we want to thank those again. Last week I went over to Mom's house and asked her 3 questions to get a feel about her dad, about our grandfather. I said, tell me about his education. Tell me why he continued to work to the age of 92. And tell me, how did he teach you, or what did he teach you, and what did he teach you about family? So we talked for a little bit, and like Chris said, the class of 1922, he graduated. After graduation, his parents thought he should go to college, and his mom said, well, you're not going to Purdue. And his dad said, well, you're not going to IU. So he went 90 miles to the west to the University of Illinois, where he graduated with a history degree. And after returning home to work, the mortuary school at that time was 6 weeks. So he went to Indianapolis and got his license and came back to work with his family. Now, why did he continue to work till he was 92? Well, we think right after he got his license in 1927, he drove his mom and dad to the Purdue IU football game at Bloomington, the old Oaken Bucket game. And probably back then it was a new Oaken Bucket. But 1927, and his dad, Charles, doesn't feel well at the game. They leave the game, they take him to the Sigma Chi house at IU. He still doesn't feel well, they take him to the hospital, and he dies. So here's Bill at 24 years old, just out of school, and he had to pull up the boots. He had to tighten the belt. He had to go to work. We had a small operation downtown, and we also sold furniture, and it was up to him to make it or not. And we think that's why he worked to the age of 92. That's all he ever knew, and that's what he did. He also would tell me about Kate Howard, how she helped him get through school. I should have mentioned that earlier. What did he teach us? He taught us about serving your community. He always served his community in many different ways. He told us about taking care of the youth in the community, whether it be from sponsoring the first baseball team at the Little League in 1953, which we still have today, or to the tennis picnic that started in the 1950s with Polly Wainscott, Bud Wainscott's father, serving hundreds or thousands of kids at this picnic. After Bud Wainscott carried that picnic on, Joe Nell Smith carried it on, Lisa Herndon carried it on, and others that I don't remember. But the hot dogs kept the picnic going. He told us to that your opinion doesn't always need to be shared. Sometimes you need to keep your opinions to yourself. He said, be quiet and anonymous with the gifts that you give. Take care of people in your community. Whether it be a boy that needed a mitt to play Little League baseball, or a couple kids that needed tennis rackets, all of a sudden they would be up at Concrete's getting a couple tennis rackets. So he taught us to share and take care of the youth. Family was very important to him. He loved all of his family. Always took care of his family. Set great examples for us. And I think that's all we have today. Grace Ann, do you want to say anything? Does she want to say anything? Okay. Congratulations to all the other inductees. It's a great honor to be here representing our family. And on a personal note, I will tell you, there was a guy a couple years older than me in high school that could get the ball in the hole. And there was a guy a couple years younger than me in high school that could get the ball in the hole. And that's Gary Good and Larry Goswer. So I'm honored to be around those guys and talk to them today again. So thank you.